Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tips and Tricks for Your Mix. I'm your host, Brother Rue, executive producer from My Block Entertainment Home Recording Studios. I'm happy to say that we just got done with our series Creating Space, and I believe it was a good series. Hope everybody enjoyed that. So now we're going to start a new series, and this one's called Battle of the Frequencies. Okay. Um, Frequency. When we think of frequencies inside of a mix, obviously we got to think of boosts and cuts. Now, what I'm going to show you today is how to boost and cut the frequencies so there's no frequency buildup. And that's what we talk about when we're talking about Battle of the Frequencies, is frequency buildup. So this week we're going to be talking about the high frequencies. Next week will be mid range, and then low range the following week after that, and so on and so forth. However many episodes I need to do of Battle of the Frequencies. So today we're going to just dive right into the high frequencies. Okay. Now I've already kind of set everything up already to kind of speed things up, because I know a lot of my tutorials will be kind of long, and we just need to get to the point. So basically, covered over, what Battle of the Frequency means. We don't want no frequency buildup, so let's go ahead and see how we accomplish that. Okay. One is by EQ, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, for most of your percussions and your hi-hats and your snares and what have you, you're only gonna need an EQ. For that channel or whatever. Okay, just give me a second. I'm taking off these reverbs here. Okay. So yeah, that's all you need as an EQ, and then you're gonna just level adjust, just like how I have it here. Okay. Now this one here, let's go ahead and solo this one out and pan this back in, and I'll talk about the panning here in a sec. Okay. And this one, what I did is I cut out that whole low end. I scooped it all out. I took where it was hitting at the 5K area, okay, and I basically took the sixth band of the EQ and brought it down, and then I cut it, or narrowed the bandwidth to right there. Okay. And then this last one I just kind of let ride back up to kind of give it a brightness to it, so when we listen to it, okay, this is without the EQ. You hear that? With the EQ, without the EQ. Okay, makes a big difference. And also, it saves you space in your master, which is what you want. Okay. With the EQ, 24.3. Without the EQ, sitting at 15.3 dB. So yes, it makes a big difference. Okay, let's go ahead and go take a look at the crash, which is the symbol. Okay, so what I did, I scooped out the whole low end again. I brought my sixth band down. I actually had it cut significantly like this, but when you have it cut that much, it's really gonna take out the volume. So you're gonna want to bring it up and kind of open up the bandwidth a little bit. Now the 7 was about right here, but it still had too much of the brilliance on the bright end, so I brought it down a little bit. So this is what the crash sounds like. Oops, excuse me, sorry. Okay. This next one was kind of like a clicky kind of noise. Now this one got a little complicated because since it was a sampled kind of instrument from a song, it actually kind of had a kind of an annoying click in there. So I had to cut out the mid range. I had to boost my high frequency, and then I brought this number 6 down to the 5K area, much like I did with my shakers. But if you notice the difference in this one and this one, I boosted up in my upper mid, my 2K area. to kind of give it more of a brighter sound. Okay, and then last but not least was the hi-hats. Okay, so bring in the hi-hats, I did the same thing. Always scoop out your low end. A lot, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but the low end I always bring out. Whether there's activity going on or not, I just take it out just for the simple fact that any kind of frequency that's even sparking up in here, could cause a frequency buildup. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, same thing. I took one of the 6-band and I brought it down and took out the low end. Okay, and I still left a little bit of brilliance in there. Okay, so this is what it sounds like now. Now, panning. Excuse me. Panning. Now, even though I have all the frequencies kind of out of the way of each other, now I want to get them more out of the way of each other so I can create space in the mix, which is what we just got done discussing. But this is a different kind of creating space, because you want to create space for like other instruments, because there might be an instrument or so, let's just say on the crash, right? Let's say you have a piano or something that's hitting at the upper mid right here, okay? And you don't want it to interfere with your crash, okay? So instead of cutting that piano, you would actually boost it. Not with that band, I mean, unless that's what it needs, but basically you've made space in this frequency range right here to be able to boost it instead of cut it. Now, will that be effective? I don't know. I mean, it just kind of depends on your mix and what kind of sound you're looking for. But with these simple steps and basically basic principles of, cutting out frequencies, boosting frequencies, because a lot of battle of the frequencies has to deal with cutting and not so much boosting. Okay, so when we cut frequencies, that's really going to free up and let our mix breathe. Okay, and right now, if you listen to this, I have really good brightness to it. Okay, as opposed to if I took off the EQs, this is what I would have. Real sharp to the ear. So notice the differences. Would you want to listen to this? Or would you just want this? And the only reason why I say, and I'm not just saying, but Brother Rue, you just EQ'd that, you know what I mean? And yes, I understand that. I know I just EQ'd it. But what if the tables were turned and like a lot of producers that I hear sometimes, they'll just sit here and boost and boost this and just keep boosting in that high frequency. And imagine, putting on all those EQs with all those boosts, if it already sounds, that like it has build up here, imagine what it will sound like when you boost everything with EQs. It'll be even louder. Well, Rue, couldn't I just turn down the volumes on them? Yes, you could, but you would still have that frequency buildup, which is why it is good to just cut out a lot of your high frequencies. And it'll sound just like this. Your dB level will be sitting at a good level, 16.3. So yeah, you'll be good. Now let's talk about panning, which I didn't even get into that, but I'm sorry, I apologize for that. Sometimes I can go off in the deep end. Panning, freeing up, space for other frequencies to come in, which is basically what I just discussed. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna kind of give it a, 22% left on that. Let's go ahead and give this a, 20. Let's do 25% right. And then on this one, let's just, we already have shakers to the left. Let's match that on the right. So we'll have shakers on the left, hats on the right. And this is what it'll sound like. And of course, I know you guys won't notice a significant difference, but I mean, I do. And when you're at your own studio, you will notice a difference too. So that's pretty much it for Battle of the Frequencies, y'all. And you know, just make sure that y'all cut out the frequencies you don't need, and you know, boost the frequencies that you do need. And so with that being said, that's the end of High Frequencies, Battle of the Frequencies series. We'll see you next week when we start talking about the mid-range frequencies. And so until then, God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time.